As an artist, we've probably seen hundreds and hundreds of different art styles. Thanks to the internet, it's almost impossible not to compare yourself. What happens is we see thousands of artists and we think every art style is already taken. There's absolutely no room for me to be original. So with that mindset, what happens? An identity crisis is what happens. We try to copy that artist, their technique, their colors, their tools, everything. We convince ourselves that we are that type of artist. But I believe we are all our own unique artists inside, completely original from anybody else. That version of us is just hidden deeply within us. It's just a matter of searching for it. So in this video, I will be showing you the 6 steps to notice your own identity and discover your art style. And just for you, I'm gonna add one extra step at the end, which is probably the most important, so make sure you stick around. So the very first thing to find your art style is to look around. I strongly believe if you want to find what's within you, an easy way to do that is to look outside of you. A person's possessions, their behaviors, and even their friends can tell a lot about them. So what you need to do is take note of these things. You can probably think about the type of music you listen to. Is the majority of it more energetic, or is it soothing and calm? Maybe look around your room. What type of things do you place in there? What colors do you notice that are similar to each other? If you're outside, what type of things catch your eye well enough to be picked off the ground? In your closet, what type of clothes do you wear? What do the colors say about you? Are they relaxed or a little more outgoing? Or maybe you don't even wear clothes. Do you tend to be a little messy? Or do you like to keep things in order? When you're in school and you doodle in class, are they more organic? Or maybe a little rigid? Or maybe it just flows with you? Or maybe you crash out every time you try? The point is, all of these things say something about you, and in your own unique way. So take note of those characteristics and patterns, because then we'll be using it for the next step. So now that you have a good basis of who you are, like the colors that represent your character and the qualities that make you individual, the second step would be finding your tools that mostly fit your art style. Now you may be wondering, oh my god, what type of tool am I gonna use? There's literally so many out there, it's endless. So what do we got? We got a paintbrush, maybe a bigger paintbrush, a colored pencil, pen maybe, this scrapey thing, this other scrapey thing, also known as a ruler, maybe this screwdriver, and we even got a shoelace. Literally anything can be used to find your art style. It's just a matter of choosing what that is. Which one is going to be your companion throughout your journey? Not to mention, you also have to use your resources. Like if you don't have the color red, try using the color blue. Or maybe you just really want red, you can use some fruit. I really want red, so I'm going to use this strawberry. Or maybe you don't have paint at all, you can use some dirt from outside. Or what if you don't have a paintbrush? Maybe you can make one. Right now I'm going to make a paintbrush out of fake grass leaves, tape, and a stick. All this to say that the more a tool or material becomes more personable to you, the more stylistic your art becomes. So now that you have the colors that you like, the characteristics that make you you, you have the tools that interest you the most, or the only ones that are at your disposal, the third step would be to experiment with them. Take any or all the tools that you have and just play around with them. In this phase, it is important to notice the characteristics that best suit you. If you say you're more of a calm person, try using the tools in a calm way. Or if you have a lot of energy, go crazy with them. Of course, you can do whatever you want and do it vice versa. But right now, we're trying to figure out what fits your identity the most. So experiment and see what you like. Use materials you haven't used before. Use that crayon that's been sitting in your drawer. Use your fingers even. Or maybe that screwdriver or that DIY paintbrush or whatever that thing was I built. Now that you know what you like and what you don't like, take note of what that is, and let's carry it on to the fourth step to finding your art style. And that very thing is to limit your palette. Now you have to remember, you don't want too many things to work with. If you have a lot of things, the mind gets cloudy. The good thing is when you don't have a lot of things, the mind gets creative with whatever it has. And that's the very thing we need when having an original art style. Now take the colors that you like, the ones that suit you the most, which we found out from looking at our environment, which was really looking within, and tools that best describe our characteristics. I found that using 2 or 3 materials or tools that are complete opposite from each other is a good median to really make something unique. Using just one material or tool will make it super hard to have an original style. Having like a million different materials and tools to use in one piece of artwork would be pretty original, but maybe too crazy. I believe limiting it just enough is the sweet spot. And by doing this, whether you paint an elephant, a car with legs, or a face without a mouth, the artwork will stay original and cohesive enough to know who the artist is. So now that you have a good foundation of what you like and the tools that you'll be working with, you're ready to make something truly special that is only for you and no other artist can copy. But before we do that, we need to feel it, which is the 5th step to finding your artist style. Now you're probably wondering, what am I supposed to feel? What are you talking about? What is this? Can I just make something already? And yes, but what I need you to feel is your intuition. I need you to feel what your mind is telling you to make. There's sort of this little voice in your head that kind of tells you what to do. You know that voice, it's that curious childlike mind many of us lose over the years. We want to tap into this childlike state. We want to let in anything we've been curious about lately. A funny situation we thought in our head, maybe something we dreamt about. Maybe it was simply simply just something we saw in our room that gave us the most inspiration. Now listen again to the voice in your head. Do you even want a subject on the canvas? Maybe you just want to represent a feeling. Take note of what that exact thing is. So now that you have your colors, your tools, your emotions, or subject you want to portray, all you need to do now is make that thing the best you can and repeat it, which is the 6th step to finding your unique art style. Repetition is very important because you can learn a lot from it. If you repeat something enough times, not only do you get better, but you learn what suits the art and you learn what doesn't suit it. For this frog, instead of red eyes, I wanted to do blue eyes. Now instead of a red background, I wanted a yellow background, and I gave him some arms and legs. I did it again and I noticed he looked better with spiky hair. And the next time around, I noticed it wasn't even about a frog. I was only interested because I dreamt about a bowl of peas. And now you paint vegetables for an entire year and win the National Veggie Bowl competition. The point being, that bowl of peas was inside you the whole time. An art style truly unique to yourself. Now that you've basically spit yourself out back onto the canvas and you've learned who you are, there's one more step to remember, which is probably the most important, and that is to have fun. You gotta have fun throughout this whole process, which means to put away any need to be perfect, any anxiety that you're gonna mess up on something, or even any self-doubt that you're not the one to be making art and that you're not creative enough. Whatever all that means, I believe art is for everybody, and you shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. Just let loose, let go of any expectation, give in to the process with the intention of just to create. In my eyes, there are no mistakes. Everything will happen for a reason. One action will lead to another. It's just up to you to make it lead to a path that's worth heading down. And the further you go down each path, it'll show you who you truly are as an artist with style.